CW. Well, I'm mainly an SSB man, but I'm desperately trying, and I've been for a long time, to improve my CW. I made another little keyer up here, which is quite good, one of these touch keyers, paddle keyers. I mean, I practice with that quite a lot. But I know I'm at the stage now, and I should just get on there and damn well use it, you know. Before Cindy, okay, if I screw up on the air, so be it. It's not the end of the world, is it? So, confidence, as they call it, or lack of. Back to you, Jeff. GI0 LAM, Golf 4, Victor, Quebec Hotel.
Golf 4, Victor, Quebec Hotel, Golf India 0, Lima Alpha Mike, returning to you. Okay, now that sounds a very familiar story with the CW. When I was learning, when I was a lowly G1 LAM, I wanted to get onto shortwave desperately, and I was having a lot of trouble self-learning CW and practicing. And I mentioned this to a guy at the club called Pat, G0HYC, and he said, I'm in the same boat. He said, I really want to practice and learn with somebody else. But we lived a fair distance apart, so it wasn't a question of popping over to each other's house, really, conveniently. So we decided on VHF, on FM VHF, to send audio tones over the air to each other. We were within that sort of distance quite happily. And so several nights we didn't have text messaging back then, so every now and then he'd phone me up to say, "Do you fancy a quick go on the key?" So yeah, all right. So what I used to do, rather than send, because at the early stage we were still learning, we weren't really key proficient. I would use my Spectrum computer to generate CW. There was a CW program for it, and I would send these audio tones over the air to him, and at the same time I wouldn't look at the screen, and I would try to write them down, and he would do the same. Then we'd go through and I'd look on the screen, I'd check mine and his, and that was the way that we did it. And then we started getting fairly proficient, fairly reliable. We got to, I never worked beyond 12 words a minute, because that was the speed that you have to learn at. And we were talking one day after a bit of a session, and T4BQV, I think, a female fast CW operator came up, and she said, "When are you going to start sending to each other?" And both of us, I think, simultaneously gulped. And we said, and then she said, "No excuses, next week I expect to hear you both sending to each other." I thought, hello, we've got another school teacher or something like that. But she was quite right, of course. You can only go on that using computer-generated stuff for so long. Receiving is not half the problem, the other half being that is sending. And so we both fixed up keys to an oscillator or a tone generator, and sent tones over the F2A, is it? Yeah, I think it is, F2A. I think it is, isn't it? Anyway, it's audio tones over FM, and we started doing that, and then sort of decoding what each other had said, which was good fun. Then, of course, we took the test, and we stopped doing it when we both passed. So how I passed, I don't know, but I think by the skin of my teeth. Oh, I've got the result up here, yeah. I did all right, except I got 2 mistakes on one of them, yeah. 2 receiving mistakes, I think it was. I didn't. When I started, I remember I started out, and he said, "Right, okay, send the piece in front of you, and he said, I'll be listening when you're ready, he said. So the very first letter was a B, and I sent a 6 and errored it. He said, have you started yet? I thought, bless you, I like you. That relaxed me and got through. But there we go. Sorry, I'm waffling on, reminiscing. But CW, yeah. Every now and then, like you, I have a burst on the on a sounder. I've got a paddle, which I quite like. The funny thing is, I can only send paddles with the right hand. With the left hand, and I can only send pump with the right hand. Weird or what? Back to you. VDSL. Hang on. Yeah, VDSL interference. Not experienced that, but I think my mate gets problems with that over in Woking. This is the data being sent over the earthing or linking wire on pylons, electric pylons. It's a data link, I think. So anyway, that's what gives him the biggest earache. So I'm wondering if that's the same thing. Yes, I used to be G1, he was G6. Obviously a lot more experienced than me. Hi. So back to you. The wind is throwing things at our garage door, and it's sounding quite rattly. G4VQH, GI0LAM.
Yeah, really good. GI0LAM, G4VQH, returning. Okay, I hope you can hear me all right. You have gone down a little bit in strength, but still very easy copy. If you struggle with me, let me know. I'll put the external box on. This is just the barefoot K3. Now the VDSL, Victor Delta Sierra Lima, is it? That is just the faster broadband over the phone lines. That's all it is. And I think it's a very sophisticated system. It works amazingly well, really, doesn't it? But it does have this issue of radiating crud and inflicting it on us poor radio amateurs. See, our phone lines are all overhead here, so there we are. Well, I get a good speed on it all the same. It's the deal is from EE is up to 40 megabits a second, and normally living out here I get 38 megabits a second, so it flies, and at times I've seen the full 40 meg because the little exchange, such as it is, it's only a shed, is only up the top of the road here, so broadband works well. And we use it quite a bit. The better half uses it, and I use it, and we can stream HD video if we want to, and all that. So I suppose you can't have it both ways. Okay, on your story about your Morse. Yeah, well, I did the Morse test in a very long time ago now. It's 1983. I did it at Liverpool at the Admiral. Is it the Merchant Navy place? I think it was. It's very intimidating. God damn. I practiced for months and months, in the shack here, and but I never got anybody. That's stupid looking back. I never got anybody to listen to my sending. First guy to hear my sending was the examiner. Wasn't very bright, really, but anyway, I could receive the 12, quite well. And but the sending, I never listened to that. People used to say, "Oh, don't worry about the sending. If you can receive, you can send." I thought, oh, okay. So anyway, I practiced. Eventually applied for the wrote off, or phoned up and got the appointment. And thought, oh damn, I was quite nervous. And anyway, a couple of guys from the radio club had been about a month before. And one guy said, "Oh, I'm going to drive up there to Liverpool." He said, "I know Liverpool." So him and his mate, they drove into Liverpool, and what happened? They got lost, and then they couldn't find anywhere to park, and they arrived late. Well, that's not a good start, is it? Really, So I thought, I'd hell with that, doing that. So I went on the train, went to Crewe, which is sort of the wrong direction. Anyway, went on the train and got into Liverpool, and found this place. So I had plenty of time. When I got there, it was quite an imposing building, and there's this bloke outside with all this like a uniform on, like a doorman, if you like, all grand. God, intimidating, what? So I goes in and empties myself, and they say, oh yes, Mr. Clutton, yes, go up to the second floor, whatever it was, and there's a waiting room. So I goes up there, and anyway, there's about another 5 blokes up there, and we're all, eventually we all go in, and they said that they do the sending, don't they, to you? You got to do your receiving, and he did all that. So, well, I did all right, because don't you? I thought, I got that, I think I was all right with that. Because I tell you what, there's a guy called Mr. Jardine, and he had this fearsome reputation, but he tell you what, he could send nice, it was easy to copy, so I was all right with that. So then we had to go in individually to do our sending, and in I go. He says, he gives me this piece of paper, he says, right, tap that out, so I start sending it, and I made a mistake, but I knew I'd made a mistake, so I corrected it, and I'm thinking, God damn, Anyway, eventually, I'd sent this passage, and he said, yeah, all right. He said, yeah. He says, yeah, I'll give you a pass for that. I thought, whoa, oh, great. And then he says, but this is, he's over my shoulder for the key, and he says, this is how you send a 4. I always remember that from all those years ago. He says, I can tell you've been practicing. He says, but he says, you've got a reasonable fit. He says, but keep don't let it go. Well, what did I do? I let it go, really. So, but anyway, I enjoy it, to be honest, but just gotta get in there, I built this little touch keyer thing. I got, the old pump key, the World War II one, but I built from a little kit, little paddle keyer, one side the dots and the other's the dashes, so I'm practicing with that as well. And I can plug it in this rig, as the side tone. Then I've got some software, some very old software actually, I run on an old laptop. And it's called CW.com or something, and you can actually have QSOs over the internet on the key, so I play with that a bit. It's not quite the same as the real on the air, is it? Anyway, I hope you still copy me all right. I'm rabbiting on here, and I'll put it back, and then I better go and do something. GI0LAM G4VQH.
G4VQH, GI0LAM. Oh, very interesting. Yeah, it's amazing how sort of I got so wound up for taking this test, and Pat, bless his heart, sort of calmed me down a bit, especially when he came out and said, oh, that wasn't so bad. And I thought, oh, well, there's hope for me yet, and I relaxed a bit. But I have to say that I think I was more wound up taking that test than I was with any company exams or learning the radio amateur exam, and I was so...
Yes, regarding Jack's Place, yes, I think you're correct.
1@AOL.com. WADARC, Jump South X Place.
Quite close to them, Andy, yeah. If I look out the window here, I can actually...
CW. It was a means to an end, as far as I was concerned, and...
100, but that was before the pound did a nosedive. So what are they now? I don't know, 650 or 600.
But certainly.
Once I've achieved that, I guess I need someone to say to me, this is why you need one of these.
No, I won't make any calls. Just good morning to everybody. It's running a bit late, so...
Maintain a steady 90 miles an hour or whatever, or
distinct, isn't it? 3 legs. So, but they fly them everywhere, John, everywhere they can. And, yeah.
Voilà, c'est tout pour le trafic, à part le 35 ce matin et le 77.
Well, this time of year, you can't ask for much better, can you, there, from them zeros there again?
He's a guest of someone that he don't know anybody. So and after a few days, he wants to go up.
Solid copy from everyone, and fine business on everything. The UK stations were a bit down on you GD guys, so about a 5 and 8, but all the GD guys are good 5 and 9, so obviously the CPAT helps a little bit. No comments from me, just nice to have hooked up with Stan after so many years. I was trying to think about how many years it must be. Well, it's got to be late 50s, I would think, since I went to visit him. And if I can find the card, I'll dig it out. There's a pile of old cards somewhere which are in a box. I've moved house a half a dozen times since then, and of course things get put away and shoved in the loft and never to be seen again. So that's probably the reason I can't put it immediately to hand, but I'll have a look for it there. And okay, yeah, solid copy to everybody. Hope the winds don't get too much there, but sounds like you're going to have to batten the hatches. I don't think we're going to get it quite so badly in Nottingham according to the forecast, but you never know the way these winds shift nowadays. But looks as though we could be in for a bit of a rough couple of days, so it's time to wind towers down and as you say, batten the hatches. I like the bit about the supermarket as well, so hope you don't run out of water. Okay, 73's from this end, and we'll look forward to hooking up again on this net sometime. From Golf 4 Papa Fox Fox, back to GD0 SFI.
G4 Papa Fox Fox, GD0 SFI. Yeah, fine business, Mike. Well, don't make yourself a stranger, mate. You know where we are now. 9:30 every Sunday morning on or about this frequency, mate. And I'm sure Stan would like a little chat with you, and especially if you can find that QSL card. Okay, mate, 73s, and you take care. Okay, gentlemen, I think that's it. I think I've been around everybody that others have signed. So I'll call it a day, and I'll catch you later on, gentlemen. So I'm going to say 73s to all on frequency, and I'll put it back to Stan for a quick final. GD3 LSF, GD0 SFI, over.
GD0 SFI and the GD Sunday morning net. Golf Delta 3 Lima Sierra Foxtrot. Well, thank you for everyone for coming on. 73s all. Have a pleasant week ahead. And this morning's weather forecast stated that Southern Ireland is going to bear the brunt of the centre of this very deep depression. It's going to pass very close to Southern Ireland and then go up the Atlantic seaboard of Southern Ireland and then into Northern Ireland and then across to the Western Isles. So it's not going to be too good in the Irish Sea, but I think we'll miss the worst of it there. 73 all, very good morning, and Barry, doesn't have to be a Friday. If you'd rather make it some other day, let me know. Any day except Monday is okay for me, so let me know when you give me a bell there. 73s, and back to you to wind it up, Barry. GD0 SFI, GD3 LSF signing and closing. Cheers all.
Yeah, cheers, Stan. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming up this morning. It's been a pleasure. All signals have been excellent. 5 and 9 and 5 and 9, well, from 5 and 7 upwards, but excellent copy coming into the Isle of Man. Okay, and this is GD0 SFI closing the GD Sunday morning net and saying very good morning to everybody. GD0 SFI now going clear. Bye-bye all.
Okay, yes, 1035.
G0 OKA, GD0 SFI, good morning, Dave. I'll copy over.
GD0 SFI from G0 OKA. Good morning, Baz. Sorry I'm late. I've just been looking around and couldn't hear anybody on, and suddenly up you came loud and clear. I've got you direct off of the 4, 5 and 9. Beautiful signal, but I'll let you go, Baz. Catch you later. There's been pretty rubbish on the radio today or yesterday as well. I didn't hear anybody company-wise, but I don't know if CUG net's running or not. I don't know. But I'll catch you later, Baz. Just so I say hello and say you've got a good signal coming out. From G0 OKA.
30 OKA, TD0 SFI. Yeah, Dave, you're 5 and 7 to 5 and 9. A little bit of fluctuation, but other than that, it's quite good, mate. Yeah, I'll catch you later. I'm quite sure it'll run. Nothing at all yesterday, absolutely nothing. I did have a contact with Whiskey 1 USN, but he was so weak he could hardly copy me, so we called it a day, and we're going to try this afternoon. But I don't hold out any hope for this afternoon either. But there we go, Dave. Okay, mate, catch you later. 73 GD0 SFI. Off and clear.
I'll quicken with Dave.
Carry on, Brian.
Yeah, morning, Dave. Nice to hear you on, mate. I'll just have a quickie with you before you go. And I wasn't going to call anybody, but I had you come up there, so I thought I'd say hello. How are you? And how's things going? D008K?
D008K from OK. Good morning, Brian. Yeah, cracking signal 58 direct at the moment, no problem at all. It's all overcast down here, mate, very still. Nothing very exciting, really. But it's dry, that's the main thing, that's all you can say. Good to hear you. I didn't hear anybody yesterday on any of the nets at all. I didn't even hear Mike on the GDO net at 8:30. I didn't hear nothing at all yesterday, so I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if John's going to run these nets today and at what frequency he does it. I don't know, Brian. But thanks for giving me a count. How's your health anyway? How are you feeling? From D0OK?
To put it in one word, rough. In fact, to put it in two words, very rough. But there you go, I've had a fortnight of it up and down, and I had about 5 hours yesterday of complete peace and no pain. And last night it wasn't so bad. This morning I got up at 6 o'clock. It wasn't so bad then. Gradually it come on from then until about 8 o'clock. I took my tablets and it didn't ease it much at all. I'm still suffering, mate, so it's a sad to see how so bowel disease is over.
Yeah, D008K from OKA. Yeah, very sorry to hear about that, Brian. Yeah, must get you down. Well, I hope it clears up a little bit better soon, because it drags on, doesn't it? So, especially if you can't sleep, and you've got problems at night as well. Makes the night very long as well. So I hope you get on, but did you hear anybody yesterday, Brian? I never heard anybody on the net at 10:30 or Mike CDL in the morning. Did you hear anybody?
No, I didn't even go on, Dave. I was very rough yesterday morning, and then we had a visitor at 10:30. R18 came to see me, so it made it impossible to switch the radio on. I was just going to go on to the net and off at 10:30. And he turned up, so that made that impossible. So I didn't get on at all over.
Yeah, okay, Brian, I'll copy on that. Well, as far as I'm concerned, there wasn't no nets at all yesterday. I didn't hear anything at all, so you didn't miss much, mate. So thanks for giving me a shout. Nice to talk to you, and I'll let you get on. And I'll look around and see if John's around, but I don't know if I'm going to hear anything. So I couldn't believe how quick this frequency was. I would have come on earlier before if I remembered. I forgot about it, to be quite honest. And then I'm looking around for John, and I suddenly saw your call sign and Glenn's call sign, I think I saw, so I realised it was the Isle of Man net, and they were loud and clear. So thanks for giving me a shout. Okay, I'll catch you later, and hope you feel better soon. Funky 0, okay, guys.
Yeah, me know, Dave. Thanks for coming back to the call. I'll catch you later. Cheers for now. OAK, off and clear. Thanks, lad.
So, you know, the Christmas Carol was written, of course, in this village here in Swinton, or just East Thorpe Hall. Just a fair distance, it's on the outskirts of Swinton, really. It used to come under the Swinton thing. And he wrote it there. And, of course, Scrooge is based, you know, it's all based on real people in Malton. I don't know if you've heard that story, and they've probably told you before, because Charles Dickens' brother was the chief engineer on the railway line when they were building it between York and Scarborough. Malton being in the middle, that's where he lived, so That's why Charles Dickens came up here. He didn't live at Easthorpe Hall, actually, his brother, but a friend of his lived at Easthorpe Hall, so... so there we are. There's quite a few local things, so it's quite a big do, you know. So there'll be lots of people talking to them, which is probably why they didn't come back before. I'll just see if they're there, shall I? GB2YMR. Have you got your loudspeaker turned up at the moment, over? They probably got fed up with listening to me whittering. We hear enough of him at the club when he gives lectures. G8BGT. Oh, yeah, there's a magic band, yeah. I've never really been interested in 6 meters from a DX point of view, because to me, 10 meters, it's like 10 meters then. No, I'm only interested in 6 meters in normal propagation during, closed band conditions, non-ionospheric. Because to me, all it is when 6 meters opens up is just like 10 meters. The sporadic on 10 meters is generally stronger than it is on 6. So it never had any appeal to me, though. They all split the neck, the band's open again. Let's go on another band. It's just a strange thing. It just never really interested me. I suppose, working somebody really strong. I worked in Italian once, so I used my DF, my little 1 meter patch lead on my mag loop. I was finding tracing a local source of interference in the village, a swisher on 50 meg. It used to swish forwards all the time. Found it. And I was just walking back up the hill from where it was, because the village is down in the dip, I was walking back up the hill to my QTH, and I heard this Italian at 20 over 9. I thought, go on, give him a shout. On a little mag loop with 2.5 watts through the 817, and he came back and gave me 5 and 9 plus. So, I suppose it's magic from that point of view. Back to you, Andy, from Golf 3 Tango Papa Whiskey.
G3TPW in the group G8BGT. Yeah, I think that's what's so incredible about radio, isn't it? That you can achieve distances like that, no matter what the mode of propagation is, so you know how much it's helped by conditions, but you can achieve distances like that on a level of energy that would just sort of light a torch bulb, and in your case just using a very sort of small antenna. It does always seem to me to be quite incredible that the beacon at Angus, I don't think I've got down what the power it runs, but I think it's done. Most of these beacons are 10-20 watts, something like that, and the fact that level of power can still be heard 300 miles away, it just seems to me just always incredible. Anyway, with that, I think I'll probably call it a day, go and have a cup of coffee, and pass it round to Dave, perhaps he's got any final comments to make. This is G8BGT signing and passing transmission to G4IDF.
Yeah. Okay, Andy. Foot slipped off the foot switch. Yeah, all okay. It was a good evening on Tuesday. We had 19 people turn up, 2 of which were visitors, and one of whom has joined the club. I've been working on him for about 2 or 3 years to come and join the club. He lives in Malvern, so he's now joined the group. So it was an interesting evening. I did a quick outline because we've got quite a few of the members who came into the hobby fairly recently, so the idea of 2-meter converters and things like that was sort of, what's all this then? So a couple of slides with a block diagram of a converter, and then the next slide was a transverter, which basically just put the transmit path on, and I took my FTV 901 and the 2 meter G4DDK transverter. Roger brought a microwave modules. So we had quite a good participation in that event, and there's been quite an interest in the club net. So what I might do is I might send a bulletin around on the Yahoo group and see what we can do on, say, Wednesday, because that way it misses the contests in the UKACs, being a Tuesday and a Thursday. So we'll see how it goes. If Wednesday is not a good night, we can always move it to another night in the week. Right, with that, certainly thanks to you, Steve, and nice to speak to you. Looking out of the shack window, it started raining oak leaves in the wind, so I suppose the next few weeks will be a case of going around with the garden vac and sucking up all the oak leaves. But the thing I don't relish at the moment is mowing the lawn. It comes to something when you've got to mow the lawn with a hard hat on because of all the falling acorns, and they don't half hurt when they fall from a great height. G8BGT and the group, G4IDF.
G4IDF, G8BGT, just quickly, that's interesting then. If I thought that had died a death, the idea of a club net, but that's good. I think Wednesday night's a good night too. As you say, it avoids the Tuesday and the Thursday, and it's the middle of the week, and I think that's a good idea. So great. I looked at the comments that were made about the idea of a Facebook page. I must admit, I don't really do Facebook. My wife does, but I'm not. Don't know about Facebook, but I just thought, as I said to you, particularly every Sunday, reading out all these lists of clubs that have nets. Some of them, most nights of the week, it seems. That it's an easy thing because you can either join in or not join in. You know, if you want to be involved, you can be involved. If you don't need to be involved. So that's why I thought it was quite a good idea, and people can dip in and out, can't they? But and great, there's another new member. That's good. What's that? Is that 33 now? I think. Although weren't there a couple of people who dropped out, so maybe it's not. So I'll just pass it back to you quickly, just if you want to comment on that, Dave, and then round to Steve. So G4IDF, just briefly, G8BGT.
Yeah, we had 2 drop out, and we've got 1 come in, so we're up to 32 members. Very nice considering where we were 5 years ago. We'd only got 11 members, which I think was below critical mass for any club to exist. Right, round to you, Steve. I'm going to duck out, and I'm not sure what we're doing today. G3TPW in the group, G4IDF.
Yeah, Roger. From Golf 3 Tango Papa Whiskey. Yeah. Really good. Hang on, I can hear another voice. So who's that? No, I think it's Continental. From G3TPW. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to have the club net on the radio, though, you know, rather than on the internet things. Much more, I think, you know, it just seems logical to have the radio club net on the radio, doesn't it? Oh, dear. I see what we did, actually, when I was in the Macclesfield Club. We had it on the CB. We had the club radio net on the CB, so because we had quite a few shortwave listeners, so they could then join in on the CB. But it had another slight side effect, because people would say, my handle was the teacher. The teacher, you see. So you'd say, so somebody would ask me, what do you teach? And I said, it's not like school or anything. It's the radio amateurs course at the local college for getting your transmission license. What's that? And I'm telling you, this was in 1981. it was just before, I think, was it 80? Yeah, I think it was. There's lots of illegal ones. The sidebanders CBs at first, just the first year, I think. But I had them 3 nights a week, and we had to borrow chairs from other classrooms, and we were sitting in the aisles doing the radio amateurs course. I got 200 people through the RAE in Macclesfield. In fact, it was rumoured I had to leave Macclesfield. It wasn't because I came to HAM and Microwave up here. The real reason for leaving Macclesfield is I couldn't find a clear frequency on 2 meters anymore, you know. So that was it's interesting, but so we must really, you know, on the FM, this was on the legal FM while we still have the radio club now. It was in 81 then, but there were still a few of the sidebanders from CB came to it, and you know, on the RE course, and I gave a few talks to the illegal CBers as well, explaining that they were all making all these demands of what they wanted. I said, well, you've already got it. It's called amateur radio. Now, you know, with it comes a little bit of responsibility, though. So you got to know what you're doing. But you want to know what you're doing, don't you? Because you want to be a good signal, and you want to, you know. So I did a bit of lecturing to the CB, the illegal CBs, which was brought about by one of the lads who was on the course, you see, who was an illegal CBer. But yeah, it's quite interesting thing. Anyway, I better not make any comments about it. That's one of the attitudes there, but interesting it was. I tell you another thing, which these demonstration stations, just thinking of what they're doing there at the North York Moors Railway there. I was in Malton doing a dem, and some of the lads from the club from Scarborough came down and said, oh, let's go on CW, Steve, let's go. Oh, I said, no, you know, I don't want to go on CW. You know, we're on 20 metres, you know, 3 to 10 metres or so. And I think it was back in Sunspot Maxima times. And, oh, no. So, anyway, eventually I gave in and we went on CW. Wow, we had crowds round us. Lord, everybody was fascinated when we were on CW. And we had one person writing it down. And then we had another person doing the operating, of course, and then we had another person explaining to the public what was going on. And right, nobody was interested in it when we were on sideband. There was like 1 or 2 who come round and stay for a few minutes and then clear off, you know. Yeah, what is it, CB, is it? You know, that sort of attitude. It just goes to show I would not have expected that, but it was absolute a revelation, an eye-opener to me that people were so interested in the CW. I suppose it's something a bit different, isn't it? J8BGT, thanks again for reading the news, Andy. Golf 3. Cheers to you, Dave. Golf 3 Tango Papa Whiskey.
Yeah, G3-2PW, G4IDF, G8BGT, just back quickly, and yeah, that is interesting. I think you're right. If ever you know, people see anybody with a Morse key, they're immediately they are more interested. Because I'm sure we all had the experience. Somebody sort of says, "What's your hobby?" and you say amateur radio, and they say, "Oh, you mean CB?" Which you know, that's the usual perception, isn't it? But Morse sort of adds a different dimension to it, doesn't it? Right, I've got to disappear. I've just seen what the time is. I'm going to get shot. Household chores not getting done. Right, cheers to you both. G4IDF, G3TPW, G8BGT signing clear, and wish you 7 threes till next Sunday, perhaps. Cheers.
Back on your head, Andy.
Sorry, I missed that.
I said back on your head.
Yeah.
Till you rake over, you know.
Yeah.
Missed you last Saturday, Andy.
So, who's that? From G8BGT?
It is I, Leclerc. I shall only say it once. Giles, G0NXA.
Oh, hello, Giles. Sorry, I didn't. I knew the voice, just couldn't think who it was. How are you from G8BGT?
Yes, no intention of keeping you, but I tuned round, I listened, I couldn't find either Worcester or Pershore. Very strange.
Yeah, no, I was away for the weekend, and Dave was also away for the weekend, so nobody could do it. So yeah, these things are going to happen every now and again, but really a bit unfortunate. But I did have a nice weekend in Paris. G3NXA from G8BGT.
Well, good for you. All right. So long as nobody was in distress, that was fine. Okay, well, I'll leave you to it. Nice to hear you again, Steve. So I'll catch up with everybody next week with a bit of luck. G0NXA, enjoy your day.
Yes, cheers then. Sorry, I've just messed up your call signs, haven't I, Giles? Yeah, okay, cheers then, and perhaps see you next Sunday. G0NXA, G8BGT signing, and going to get a cup of coffee. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, Giles.
No, BC4. It was a B-29. Is that the Super Fortress or Fortress? I think, isn't that the same type of aircraft as the Enola Gay that dropped the bombs on Hiroshima or Nagasaki? Anyway, it was one of those, and they fixed it and tacked it off. And you're quite right. The APU fell over and a fuel spilled out, caught fire, and then the whole plane just burnt and was wrecked. And last seen it was on the ice over a deep lake, so presumably as everything thaws it will drop to the bottom of the lake, and that'll be the end of it. Never see it again. Shame, really. Terrible shame. Because evidently one of the engineers died on that job. He caught some terrible... something terrible, I think, and then as a result of it, he died, one of the engineers. A couple of previous comments, Brian. Your recorder is packed up. I wonder you don't fire up the computer, particularly with Quest, and watch programs on that. I do, because when it comes to the adverts, there aren't any. It gives the logo as it stops the advert, then immediately up comes the logo and it resumes again. And the whole program that takes up an hour with umpteen adverts, if you watch it on the television, is only about 43 minutes long. And that's a great bonus that it's advert free when you watch it on the computer. It's just a thought, anyway. I was going to mention, there's another program, I don't know whether you've cottoned on to the fact that it's on, but you know that really intelligent program about paintings and masterpieces where, what's the name, the newsreader goes out with that other chap and they look at masterpieces and they investigate. It was called Fake or Fortune. And then it stopped abruptly. There were only 4 in the series, but I only played 3 new episodes, and the 4th one was a repeat. Well, again, on BBC4, which has become my favourite channel, there's another highly intelligent and well-crafted program on this very similar vein. It's to do with lost masterpieces. And... The person who does it is the person who used to be on Fake or Fortune. I think he's heir to the Grosvenor family in London. His name is Ben Dor Grosvenor. He used to do a lot of the art historical investigations on Fake or Fortune. Anyway, he's got his own program, and it's something called Lost Masterpieces. And it's fascinating because they take the pictures, they do all the UV or infrared scans, and then they take it for X-rays, and then they take it to specialists who painstakingly clean it up. And it's interesting what's revealed when they go through the cleaning process and reveal the true picture underneath. And it's excellent. You may not have seen it, Brian, but it's well worth a look if you get a chance to catch up on demand, Brian. G3LOX, G3 X-ray Fox Echo.
G3XFP, G3LOX. A bit of trouble from the Dutch newsreader, but on the other side, but I copied your reply. Yeah, I saw both of those programs, Chris.
On the aerials, Paul's using the Sensible system, where you have a
Hotel Whiskey.
Golf 3 Hotel Charlie Oscar, G3HCO.
Yes, good morning, Alan. Just hang on. I've just put it over to... Correct. I don't know what it is about, but there you are. Anyway. Hand this morning. So there we go, Glenn. So I'll be gone in about 10 minutes, mate. GD0SF.
Parking permits issued. For the
now just of dismantling the old Ballon to clean it up and but it is connected to the dining room. It's there's an open bit.
Swing on it. It seems to have very low SWR between 1863 and 1877 or 1880, shall we say. So it's actually resonant nearly enough to where I can use it where I don't need an ATU. But I'm thinking I probably still need to chop a bit off it to get it a bit higher, because